You found the skeleton. How would you tell it's a dinosaur? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
All right, everybody, I am here. Unfortunately, a little bit last minute, Erika turned out to have fallen ill, and so she's not going to be here today. However, I do in fact have Just a Walking Fish and TD Lane here, so why don't you say hey, guys?
We're trying to figure out who's going to go first. Walker, go first.
Okay, yeah. Hey guys, hello, welcome to Eric without Erika. I am the cleanup crew.
I am cleanup crew 2.
Yeah,
we are in fact supporting characters.
Yes.
Excellent, if you will.
So Erika apparently has a bit of a cold, and that's all it is. There's no reason to think that it's anything more serious than that. At least that's according to her. But, you know, she did not feel like she could really make it through this, so we understand that. And so I reached out to some of my... Well, actually, to be fair, she reached out. I'm going to give her the credit on that one, because it's more accurate. She reached out to see if anyone else could take her place, and Walker and TD Lane were very gracious. So we have them. Also, I have changed up the format on the screen a little bit. You might have noticed that. I decided to make it a little bit fancier. So, you know. But thank you, everyone who I'm seeing in chat. I'm seeing I'm a Red Whale, Hayden the Toa, Andrew Cumming, Monk Mayfair, Zemore42, Vandelli 1998, Josiah Hansen, Kenny. We got a lot of people here. So make sure you do hit like, because I'm seeing 26 people and only 7 likes. Come on, guys. But anyway. We're going to continue off on where we left off with Eric with Erika, where Eric Hovind was talking about how you can get different breeds of dogs, but they're still dogs, which, I mean, yeah, good job, Eric. That's nice. But, but first we're going to go over the drinking rules, and I just realized I don't think I have my Godzilla set up. So, TD Lane, why don't you explain the other drinking rules while I go grab Godzilla?
Well, every time Kent says, or well, Eric in this situation says something stupid, we drink. Or so stupid, we just have to drink. Every time he says something true, we drink. And every time Godzilla or Mothra sound, we drink. If I remember correctly.
And also the no funny joke. If he
yes,
tells a joke and no
course.
one knows it's a joke, that's one of my favorites because I never get it.
Of course.
I always appreciate like the chat that's just like, wait, was that a joke? And then all 40 people are like, okay, I get it now.
Okay, I have Godzilla, by the way. We are now safe from not having a Godzilla.
Good.
Okay, so have we gone through all of the drink rules?
Yeah.
Okay.
I covered drink when Eric says something really stupid, drink when he says something true, drink when Godzilla or Mothra sound, and Walker went over drink when there's a joke nobody gets.
All right, awesome. Well, I think with that, we're probably pretty well set up to just go ahead. Yeah. Maybe I should just rename this Eric with Erika without Erika 1. I'll be honest, I don't want to make a new thumbnail. Oh! However, speaking of Godzilla, so we do also go when there is a super chat that involves one of the kaiju emojis that I have. And Kenny just super chatted a Mothra emoji, along with, of course, a Dapper Dino emoji. And by the way, if you want those emojis, there is a join link underneath this video. And so we're going to take a quick drink for that. If the memberships for joining the channel start at $1.99, you get early access to videos, and access to my Patreon Discord server, and there are other rewards at higher tiers if you want to do higher tiers. Yeah, and it really does help out because I'm trying to make this channel be at least significant portion of my income so I can dedicate as much time as possible to it. So, if you do want to support the channel, that is a great way. And if you don't want to do that, then, I mean, liking and sharing really, really does help. But anyway, I think it is enough of that nonsense, and it is time to actually get into the. Oh, you meant to send Godzilla? Well, hey, Mothra works just as well. That's fine. Let's get into the actual video here. So here we go. Let's get some more Eric with Eric. Well, Eric.
Great Dane are both very different, but they're both still, if you consider the Chihuahua a dog. Personally, I don't, okay? But probably even the dog, the wolf,
that a
and the
joke?
coyote had a
Oh, it was a joke, yeah. Because he doesn't consider...
He just doesn't consider Chihuahuas dogs.
I mean, if he honestly doesn't consider Chihuahuas dogs, then it would invalidate his point. And I don't think that's what he's trying to do.
It's still stupid.
Yeah, well, either way, I'm gonna drink for it.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's either stupid enough to drink for, or it's a joke that no one laughs at. So, either way.
common ancestor. But I guarantee you it wasn't a banana.
Yeah, no.
Anybody can tell you that, right? I mean,
All right,
stand
so
back and take a
first-
look. Boys and girls.
So first, I realize that this is sort of a joke. So, oh, we haven't had a Mothra or a Godzilla sound. That's because I was off getting it. So in case you guys didn't know, it's my phone that makes that sound. And my phone was in the other room, so, and on silent. So if I hadn't gone to get it, that would not have worked. So hopefully we'll get a test Godzilla in here soon. I just requested one from somebody. Thank you for reminding me that we hadn't had that. But so this thing here, where he's like, "Oh, it's just a banana." First of all, it's a bad joke, so I'm going to take a drink.
Yes. Well,
But second,
also,
it's a horrible, horrible straw man of evolutionary biology, right?
yeah.
Also, this is directly ripped from Kent.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, so here,
Literally just went.
here's another. Actually, I'm going to make the chat a little bit easier to read for everybody by turning off the little logo there. Hopefully, that makes it a little easier to read on the video. But so the annoying thing about this whole 5-year-old test, I gave some nieces and a nephew of mine a similar test with what was it? 1 bird and 3 dinosaurs that were not birds to see if they could pick out the bird. And they couldn't. So you can actually use this 4-year-old or 5-year-old test to ruin Kent Hovind. You just have to be careful about what you select.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're going to pick a plant and 3 animals, like,
Right.
what are they going to do? But if
And
you put a hesperocyanid or something like that, like,
Yeah,
completely invalidates it.
exactly. And the thing is, also, scientists don't disagree that those 3 are more like each other than they are like the banana. No one disagrees.
Yeah.
Or better yet, put a dog, a wolf, a bear, and a bear dog in.
Yeah, at that point, it's just like, I don't know.
Or if you're only selecting 4, you could just put literally anything in. You could put, like, a dog, a mushroom, a plant, and an E. coli or something.
Yeah, and then
All right, kid, pick him out.
I don't even know what the kid would pick at that point. Although the right answer would be the, a E. coli.
Eukaryotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Which one of these does not look like the others? The banana, exactly right, buddy. That's
yeah,
right. How
good
old are you,
job.
sir? A 5-year-old, smarter than the average scientist today, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Great job, buddy. You say, well, scientists know the difference. I know, but they still say they had a common ancestor, which I find absolutely unbelievable.
So that scientists say that they can tell the difference. You know that this is a ridiculous exercise. Why are you doing it?
Well, he's getting a better audience than Kent, so.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I will say, the Hovinds have a fair bit of charisma, but I think Eric has more. I also think he's less terrible of a human being. So there's that.
Yeah.
Although,
Considerably better human being.
not that that's a huge bar, so, Oh, and by the way, I hope the audience here is enjoying having the chat on screen as well as in the sidebar, because that is something I'm planning on trying to keep as a regular feature of the channel from now on. It's also in my my Star Trek Adventures streams. So yeah.
First, Wheat Capper. Secondly, if I had to choose between Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Kent Hovind, I'd take Frank.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, Frank is more likely to shoot you.
I mean, yes.
So there is that.
Eric.
But he is less of a scumbag.
That's
not gonna
not
sell
part
you
of science,
cyanide.
okay?
Yeah. Goodness. Although, speaking of science, Mac has at least as bad a science as Kent Hovind. Just watch the trial episode where they all try to figure out who should pay for damages to Mac's car. Or not Mac's car, Dennis's car. And Mac goes off on this whole like young Earth creationist tangent. And Vandalia 1998 says, who brings a 5-year-old to something like this? And I'll be honest, I'm not surprised that they're there. This is a church function. Like, this is in a church. I don't know if you can tell, but like, this is... I guess it might be at like a school theater, but I'm extremely confident this is in a church.
Yeah, my church had something very similar, and it's like there was this stage right next to the basketball court. That's probably exactly where they are.
Yeah. So, and the answer to that is, who would bring a 5-year-old to church? It's most people who go to church. So I'm not at all surprised.
The last kind of evolution we got is called microevolution, okay? That's your lesson on evolution today. We got the 6 types. The 6th one is microevolution. Now, micro means small, so this is talking about small evolution. Really, I kind of object to the word evolution being used because all this is a variation within the kinds of animals.
Oh yeah, that word he never defined from last time. Kind of animal.
Yeah, that's actually a very accurate definition of evolution, not just whatever you want to call microevolution.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that is evolution. It's not all of evolution, but it is evolution. It's the most basic part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it forms its base and is what is most readily seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like
maybe,
the dog.
Yeah.
Maybe Thresta evolution is also possible, like seeing how the most basic part of it, that is the basis, is very much true.
Right.
A.
Okay, let's continue on here.
Producing a variety of dogs. That happens, doesn't it? Can we see it? Can we test it? Yes, yes. Can we demonstrate it? Oh, yes. That happens. Microevolution does take place, but it is not real evolution. All that is a variation within the kinds. Now, the rest of those types of evolution, if you believe in them, yet they're not really supported by science, testable knowledge derived from observation and study, well, then that would put them into the realm of a religion.
No.
That would...
No, it wouldn't. Even if it were true that none of them were science, the world isn't divided into just science and religion. Those aren't the only two... I'm taking a drink.
It's a perfect dichotomy. Only those two.
Oh, hey, look at that. There's Godzilla. Take another drink. All right, so... take 2 drinks there. One for stupid. But here's the thing. Like, there's so many things that aren't religion or science. Like, let's see. Does your spouse or significant other love you? It's not a scientific question. No one's going to strap their spouse down. Well, I mean, I guess I can't say no one, but most people who want to keep their spouses aren't going to strap them down into a chair and test them to see whether or not they, I don't know, actually do love them. Like, that would be weird and creepy and gross.
Yes.
But is it a religious? Does that make it a religious view? Is it your religion that your spouse loves you?
No.
I would say no. You know what? That's a good point, Megan Fox's Giant Boobs. I don't think Eric could identify anything but a maned wolf, except that he probably would think it's a canid. Which, by the way, maned wolves are awesome. They're from South America. Yes. They're adorable. Mm-hmm. They're very leggy. Go look them up after this. They're like, what if a fox tried to be a wolf and also a gazelle at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
And smell really bad.
Well, okay, fair, but whatever. I don't have to smell them. I can just watch them on, like TV or YouTube or something.
Put them automatically into a belief system, wouldn't it? Did you know that evolution, whether you admit it or not, this is just the way it is, evolution is a religious world view?
It's not a worldview, and it's not religious. It is a scientific theory. You don't have to like it, but that's all it is.
Did he define religion as belief system?
Quick
Like, is
question.
that just all he said
I
religion
don't think
was?
he's gonna define religion, but it seems to me that his definition comes down to things that you believe without having a good reason to. Which-
you mean Ken Hovind's definition?
Right, which I don't know why he thinks that that's a good definition, because it makes him look stupid. And also, hello, Pichu, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Said hello.
Yeah,
so.
it's one of those weird things. I don't see any churches of evolution around here.
Yeah, well,
Where are they?
so a lot of creationists would say that, like, museums are the churches of evolution.
Which is silly.
Yeah. I mean, I know I go to a museum every week.
Yeah.
Only on Sunday mornings.
Right, when they're closed.
Yeah, I don't see any like big great holy book. I don't see any laws that you have to follow. I don't see very much of worship in anything at all, really.
Ooh.
I'm not seeing anything really religious here.
Andrew Cumming asks if I think that Eric could differentiate between a sugar glider and a flying squirrel as whether or not they're in the same kind. You know, that's a really good question. Because
Robert Byers can't.
Really? That's awesome.
Robert Byers, he's a Reddit dude. He thinks that all marsupials, like all the convergence marsupials show, is just, you know, they converged on the same reproductive system and not like the body plan, right? So like sugar gliders are rodents, and thylacines were canids and all that kind of stuff. It's
Just ignore all the non-reproductive
thing,
differences
Walker.
like
He's
dentition
not
and
just a
skull
Reddit
morphology.
He's everywhere.
he's
So-
the everywhere guy.
It's just go where Robert Byers won't be.
So things like the characteristically marsupial, like skull morphology, or the differences in dentition, syndactyly between digits 2 and 3, none of that stuff is important.
No,
It's all
Okay.
convergent.
Okay.
it looks like a wolf, so it's a
Everything's
wolf.
convergent. Except
Ah, that's
the
so
the
dumb.
very idea that they're just marsupials that convergently evolved the
Maybe-
same things. As
Maybe
placental
maybe sometime we should have a show on like a Saturday afternoon or something that's just reading through the most ridiculous Robert Byers tweets. Or not
Yes.
tweets, but
I
Reddit posts.
I have some interesting threads for you.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, let's get a little bit more Eric in here.
People say, well, we got to get religion out of the schools. Well, okay. If you say so, let's get it out then.
I actually don't think we should get religion per se out of schools. I think there's reason to have like a religion class, like a world religion class, where you go over
Yeah.
some of the most, either most common in the world or most common in like your local country religions. So,
I think that would be a good idea so people can learn to, not be jerks to one another.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tolerate our religions, perhaps. See the differences in humanity and learn to accept those, etc.
Yeah. So, but the other thing is, I don't want any of those in the science class because it's off topic. Just like I don't want anyone talking about like Abraham Lincoln in science class. It's irrelevant. Abraham Lincoln,
Abraham Lincoln is very relevant, don't you know?
not to science. I want him talked about in history class, but on the other hand, I also don't really want plate tectonics in history class because again, not relevant. So, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy.
We got a state-sponsored religion.
Hmm.
We don't have evidence of this stuff.
Yes.
All we do is believe in it.
Actually, could you pause it really quickly? As of the current moment, there's a conservative government, which may or may not be going away, but they haven't done anything to get rid of evolution in the past 4 years.
No, not at all.
And better yet, there was a young Earth creationist up there in cabinet. There's a young
more
Earth
than
creationist
one.
senator.
Yeah, there's quite a few YECs in high levels in the government, and it's
Yes. Pence and Ben Carson at least, and then also isn't Betsy DeVos?
you know, I'm not so sure about Betsy DeVos. Most of what I hear about her is basically just her being really big on charter schools,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
The Secretary of Education being against public education.
Yeah.
well, I suppose charter schools are in a weird sort of gray zone because they're primarily publicly funded.
Yeah.
So it's a weird sort of gray zone there with charter schools. I don't know. When it comes to charter schools, look, I mostly follow the statistics on most things, and charter schools seem to have pretty good statistics overall, even though they're very uneven. So I'm not going to be the one here who's like, oh, charter schools, no. it's one of those things where it's like, research what's right for you when you're a kid. Some charter schools have much better statistics than the general public schools in the area, and some don't. So you do what you feel is best, and do your research, and actually do real research, like actually look up things like SAT scores and, you know, graduation rates and whatnot. So, anyway,
so those are my 6 types of
that's what I said.
evolution, okay? So evolution is a religion, and it's a religion that is supported in the textbooks. A state-sponsored religion. We cover a lot more about that on seminar tape number 4. A lot of great stuff. A lot of you guys have seen my dad's video, or video series. For those of you who have not, let me just tell you, my dad is awesome. I'm telling you what. He's smart enough.
Haven't said that in a while, have you, Eric?
That's pretty funny right now.
Oh, Donald Edwards, you're not very late. Donald Edwards, you're only about 20 minutes late. But oh yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I don't know what that is, but I'm drinking for it because you know what? Cheers, Eric. Sorry about all that.
Cheers.
Yeah, as Eric311 said, that didn't age well. Oh man, no, it did not. Oh, oof. Oh man, that's amazing. All right, let's get a little bit more in here.
Man on planet Earth.
Oh.
I don't know if he is or not, but he is like way up there when it comes to the IQ and the intelligence.
No,
and what all
he's
he
not.
knows. You know, I'm glad I figured out at the age of 28 that my dad really is smart. I mean,
That was a joke that no one laughed at.
And to hear him talk, oh my goodness! How many of you have ever gotten to talk to Dr. Hovind? I know you feel real special. Dude, I'm telling you, my dad is unbelievable. I mean, when it comes to creation, evolution, when it comes to anything, I mean, he's just awesome. That's just the way Dad is. And he's got some videos that he did that are unbelievable. They go through and they explain things so well. He really does explain things incredibly well. So I encourage you to get those, okay? If you've already got them, you need to be making copies and giving them away, because nothing that we produce, creation, science, evangelism, nothing we produce is copyrighted.
That's actually not how copyright law works in the United States. It's how it used to work, right? So back up until I believe the end of the 70s, in order to copyright something, you actually had to put in a copyright notice. Otherwise, it was just assumed to be public domain. Or if your copyright notice was defective, it was assumed to be public domain. But, sorry, by the time this was filmed, copyright law in the United States had changed, and basically everything you say or do is, well, not do, but anything you publish in any format is assumed to be copyrighted, and you don't have to do anything to copyright. So unless you give an explicit disclaimer putting something in the public domain or in the Creative Commons, it is assumed to be fully copyrighted under US copyright law. So now him saying this would probably be good evidence if a copyright claim were to be brought against you by, like, you know, Kent Hovind or something. But I just want to point that out. You do not have to explicitly copyright something in the United States for it to be copyrighted. The reason you still see like copyright dates in like books and movies is mostly just to help verify when you first published whatever it was, so that way you can, if someone tries to claim they published it first, you have evidence of when you published it, and then you can find their earliest publication. If it post dates yours, well, okay, that's good evidence that they're wrong and you're right. So it's a minor thing. If you have real questions about this, I'll obviously ask a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. But yeah, copyright law no longer works that way in the United States. And it didn't any of the times that Kent Hovind was doing any of this stuff. Anytime he's like, we don't copyright our stuff, it's like, that's just not how it works. Copyright is automatic in the United States. I can't speak to any other country, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why you don't have to put copyright notices that says that this is my copyrighted material when you upload to YouTube. Is because it's assumed that since you uploaded it, it's yours and it's copyrighted. So there we go, just a little tangent.
And it's that way on purpose. My dad said when he started our ministry, he said, God, there's a couple things I want to do. Number one, I'm not going to charge for seminars. Number two, I'm not going to copyright my materials.
Although, number one, I should point out, he does ask for quote-unquote love offerings, and they're often in the multiple thousands, or they were at least often in the multiple thousands of dollars for each of his speaking engagement. And he also does request that the hosting body pay for food and lodging. So, and travel. So, you know, it's not like he's not making out like a bandit.
Yeah. Also, if he is junior, you wouldn't download a Hovind.
You wouldn't upload a Hovind.
Yes, I will download a Hovind, and I will 3D print it if I had a 3D printer.
Oh. So wait, who are you going to get to sculpt a Hovind?
I'll
do it if you pay me enough.
Am I not talking to him?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it if you pay me enough. I'm not going to do it for nothing.
All right.
All right, here we go.
And number 3, if you don't provide, I quit. And God has provided. So we say copy those tapes. They are a blessing.
Did
How
God
many of
send
you got
Kent to
introduced
jail?
to creation science evangelism through a copy of a tape? Several of you. How many of you have copied the tapes and given them away?
Is this just a commercial?
I want to find out who's copied the most. Now, I think I already know who this
Parents
is,
dad.
but I got to find out
Yeah,
who's
it's
copied
just a
the most.
commercial
Has anybody
for
copied
Kent
more than
Hovind.
100 of the DVDs? 3 of you.
100
okay?
copies of the DVDs.
Well, since we
What?
narrowed it down to
Has anyone copied any of the DVD? Has anyone made more than 100 copies of the DVDs?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have 100 Hovind DVDs in my basement.
Well, I'm assuming that he's thinking that if they made them, they also gave them away.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get like a. I guess it's not pirated since they're encouraging it, but like I sort of want to get like a ripped DVD of a Kent Hovind seminar. Not that I have a DVD player actually.
You could just start a collection of it. It'd be like how people keep records and stuff.
Yeah. Although I feel like most people who have like a vinyl collection actually have a record player. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, they still make record players. You can still buy a brand new record player. Unlike a brand new VCR, which you cannot buy because no one makes them anymore.
No, nobody's crazy enough to take that stuff.
Actually, it wasn't that long ago that the last VCR was made. Like I think it was like 2015 or 16 or so. And like the last company that was still making VCRs finally was like, all right, we quit. Oh, Donald Edwards, please make a meme about this. Go for it. I would love that. Send it to me on Twitter. And I'm sorry if you can hear the helicopter. As it turns out, I live near the airport.
Sorry, let me just go ahead and tell you, I got a friend of mine here, who has copied, you're not going to believe this, over 20,000 of the DVDs.
Whoa!
I want you to give him a hand. His name is Joel. He's right here. That's awesome, man.
This is where I need like a Keanu Reeves react video. Whoa.
Good job, Joel.
And unbelievable. Man.
Where's Joel?
And
I
we
love this
really do.
cameraman
We
and
encourage
what we're
that
doing.
because you guys don't see it, but we see the letters that come in from people that say, hey, somebody made me a copy of your tapes and I got saved. Thank you for making those able to copy. We appreciate that. And it's just absolutely awesome to read those testimonies. That's what it's all about. It really is. So I encourage you to do that. Okay, where are we at? That leaves us with
a salvation issue.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about that. Is it's like it's not at all a necessary part of preaching. Although I guess I get the idea that if you can get them in on young Earth creationism, then it'll be an easier sell to get them in on the rest of Christianity. So I guess I get the strategy, but yeah, I don't know.
the Big Bang. Now, getting a little bit more into the Big Bang, here's what the textbooks say about the Big Bang. Textbooks say around 18 to 20 billion years ago, all the matter in the universe was concentrated into a very dense, very hot region that made
This is a 1992 book. I think we already established that this speech was given sometime around like 2005.
Picard face palm that GIF.
I know. Get better sources. And it's not like it's that expensive.
I'm gonna see what it was as of 2005.
What was? General Science?
No, the what the consensus was then on how long ago the Big Bang occurred.
Oh, and
Not a physics, dude. It's 13.4, right?
Like,
yeah, I believe that's the
I'm gonna
current
look at
consensus.
2005.
Yeah, like what was it about the time of the speech?
2005.
Because for some reason Kent never bothers to update his figures, and then he complains that when science gets more accurate measurements, that means that science is untrustworthy, which is, you know, the exact opposite. That's how we know science is trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Is this another slide that like Eric just got from Kent? Because I wouldn't be surprised, and that would explain why it's 13 years out of date at the time of this video.
So I know that Kent has this quote in some of his slides, although this formatting doesn't look like the one that I'm used to. And Megan Fox's giant boob says 13.8 was the consensus in 2005, which makes pretty good sense. Yeah.
May have been much smaller than a period on this page.
All right, I got it. Yeah,
Was it 13.8?
13.7 as of
Okay.
2005.
That's about what Megan Fox's giant boobs. Which, by the way, Megan Fox was actually on my ship when I was in the Navy, filming Transformers 2 or 3 or whatever, whatever that was.
The Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was on there too. Which Transformers movie was the one where they fought on the pyramids? Because that's the one that my ship was in. And I was there while they were. Okay.
I haven't watched.
I mean, I have a little bit of a soft spot for the first one, and then I was just like, okay, you're just making the same movie over and over and over again. I stopped caring immediately.
It's kind of like Jurassic World 1 and 2.
Oh, I liked 1 actually, not because it was particularly good, but because it was just kind of fun and ridiculous. And then 2, I was just like, oh, so we're just gonna make a worse version of Jurassic Park 2? Okay, thanks. No thanks. I'll pass. Although I will say there was a Jurassic World short released onto YouTube a while ago now, that had an Allosaurus in it, and that Allosaurus is possibly the most accurate dinosaur that Jurassic World or Park has ever done. I did not see the Transformers with Dinosaurs movie, Icarus. I did not see that one. I only saw up to 3, and at that point I gave up, and I just haven't seen... Oh, and 2 was the one, apparently, that was partially filmed on my ship, because it's the one with the fight on the pyramid. So there you go. Transformers 2 was filmed on my ship while I was there, and Shia LaBeouf was there, and Megan Fox was there, and that... who was that rapper? He was in Transformers 2, whatever it was, but he gave an impromptu concert in the hangar bay one day. He just asked, like, hey, do you guys have, like, speakers and a microphone? And he just started, like, they set it up in the hangar bay one day, and he just started rapping.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it was very nice. I was on watch for it, so I didn't get to go, but I heard about it.
Oh.
Well, there's a basically 25% chance that you're on watch at any given time, and you're in a reactor department on the ship, so, you miss about a quarter of all the things that happen.
Yeah.
But here we go.
And that, a little bit hard to believe, but that's what they say happened with the Big Bang. Now, a lot of times when you imagine the Big Bang, you imagine something like, let me see here. Oh, well, I'm getting to it. I got a video coming up, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay. This is not, by the way, the Big Bang. This is not the first time they say that it's happened, the one that, created us. It's happened before, and it's going to happen again.
No, even at the time, that was a speculative idea. Oh, drink for Godzilla.
Yeah, entirely speculative. Entirely.
It turns out that later work on the math has said that's probably not likely, but, like, it wasn't ridiculous at the time. It was just still speculative.
Yeah.
This textbook says, after many billions of years, all the matter and energy will once again be packed into a small area. This area may be no larger than the period at the end of this sentence. Then another Big Bang is going to occur. They say it happens every 80 to 100 billion years. In which case, we don't need to worry about global warming. We need to look out for global squishing. Okay? It's going to happen.
In 80 billion years?
When the Big Bang
We'll all be dead by then.
Yeah, no, if you... Global warming is going to start affecting people, like, this century. That's stupid. I'm drinking.
Okay, no, fair enough. Yeah, his whole, like, oh, drink again for Godzilla. But, yeah, it's weird. There's this tendency in, I don't even want to say just creationism. It's in a lot of religious circles where it's like, an atheist says Tyrese Gibson. I don't know, man. Look, it's been such a long time since that happened. I haven't seen Transformers 2 in such a long time. I just know there was a rapper in it, and he gave a concert. Oh my goodness, Godzilla, calm down, man. Go hang out in Tokyo.
No.
Okay, so
he wants to destroy Phoenix now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Pichu says, I think that was a joke. I don't think it was, actually. So I think it was sort of a joke. And there's Mothra. Okay, there's another drink. So, but here's the thing. You actually get this in a lot of, especially U.S. Christian circles, where if the universe is going to end in heat death, then short or medium-term problems don't matter. Okay, there's Godzilla. Oh goodness, this is getting a little crazy. But anyway, yeah, where it's like, unless everything works out so that, like, everyone lives forever and, you know, the universe is currently under attack by kaiju. And then there's Beethoven for $2 with a band practice donation, including some kaiju. So let's take another drink. Anyway,
Thanks,
I'm trying to kill you tonight, Dapper.
oh my goodness, seriously.
your theropod liver cannot stop us.
You know what? Apes have an unusually high tolerance to alcohol that not many other animals have. So you guys are, or wait, you're too young even. Goodness.
Look. Walker's a fish.
That's a good point.
I'm just a digital projection.
Aren't we all fished though? In the end,
Yes.
So that gets to my name.
yes. But anyway, no, but you get this thing in a lot of like sort of right-wing religious circles where they're like, oh, I mean, either nothing matters because we're all just going to die in the end and everyone and everything is going to die, or it doesn't matter because Jesus is coming back. And so we don't have to worry about the environment or pollution or anything like that. And Pichu, thank you. I hope that you're a match for my liver. That would be nice. Yeah, so it's a thing that you actually, it's an attitude you really do get. And there's Godzilla again. Okay, so let's get a little bit more Eric in.
One of those weird things. Yes, more Eric.
Idea got started, by the way. The original size of the dot that exploded that they were just talking about, you know, to create the Big Bang, the original size was a couple of light years in diameter.
No, the original estimate of the size. Stop pretending.
They thought this, you know, mass of matter was a couple light years in diameter and it exploded. Well, back in 1965, they reduced that figure to 275 million miles across. The diameter of the dot was 275 million miles. And then in 1972, they reduced it from 275 million miles to 71 million miles. The Big Bang went on a diet, okay? Then it really went on a diet in 1974 when they said, oh, instead it's only 54,000 miles across, the dot that exploded. 54,000 miles across to create all the sun, moon, stars, galaxies, everything we see today. Then in 1983, they said, oh, actually, the dot was a trillionth the diameter of a proton. Real small, all right? And now they say nothing exploded.
No, that's wrong.
No, they really don't. They really don't.
No.
Now, I know Lawrence Krauss has a book, A Universe from Nothing, but his nothing is actually still the existence of various quantum fields, which, because there's something there, in that it's quantum fields, it's not quite nothing in the way that you would normally think of it in terms of a philosophical absolute nothing.
Yeah.
So
it turns out what most people think is nothing, then philosophical nothing, aren't entirely the same thing always. So
right.
Go figure.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Exactly what they teach the kids in the textbooks. Here it is, Discover Magazine from April of 2002.
That's
Where did everything come from?
Yeah, the Hovinds like to pretend that Discover Magazine or National Geographic are peer-reviewed scientific journals. It's just no, they're
now
not.
I'm going to throw my head back and laugh.
Oh, Atheist Jr. said that Mr. Batman told me the quantum fluctuations don't happen. Yeah, he told me that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't Lemaitre propose a primeval atom or singularity from Andrew Cumming? Yes, he did. So I don't know exactly what his version of the Big Bang that he proposed is, but Lemaitre was one of the people who first really dug into how the Hubble's law affected what the history of the universe would look like. And Georges Lemaitre was in fact a Catholic priest. In fact, actually, the nearest observatory to me, which is down near Tucson, about a third or so of the telescopes there are actually owned by the Vatican. Like, those are the Pope's telescopes. The Vatican actually does a lot of astronomy. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but they actually do a lot of astronomy, and like the Vatican observatories and stuff, and Vatican astronomers, many of whom are in fact priests, publish heavily in astronomy journals.
Is that like a Jesuit thing?
The Jesuits are involved, but it's not just them. Yeah.
Weird how those believing Christians just are completely fine with Big Bang. It's pretty weird.
They basically invented it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically the Vatican Observatory. A guy working there is the guy who basically invented the Big Bang. Funny that. Now, I know that Kent Hovind and Eric Hovind would probably say that Catholics don't count as Christians, and I would disagree, but I don't super care. But here's the other thing. You can't call them atheists. They're clearly not atheists who want to disprove God. They believe in a God. You might not think it's the God that you believe in, but it's clearly not atheism.
It's still the Abrahamic God, and they still think Jesus was a guy who rose from the dead and was the Son of God. It's also the fact that Protestant just wouldn't really exist without them, but
well, the Protestants like to argue that the Catholic Church like suppressed all of the proto-Protestants that were always the true faithful Christians from the first century. I mean, there's no like history to back that up. It's just nonsense.
So it's pseudo-history, basically?
Yeah, well, and to be fair, in particular, it's pseudo-history from sort of a Baptist perspective, which is what the Hovinds are. So Baptists have some weird like pseudo-history about Christian history that just doesn't actually work. But this isn't a history stream. Although I keep threatening to have a show or a few videos about like actual Christian history, because
Do it.
both Christians and atheists get it badly wrong in many cases.
All right. I'm asking chat. Put 1 in the chat if you want Dapper to do that series. Put 2 in the chat if you don't want to do that series. Go.
All right, that's fair. Yeah. There's 44 of you here, so I expect 44 votes. And also, I only have 28 likes, so hit like more.
That's a weird one. I was raised Methodist, so I didn't have like the pseudo histories. In confirmation, we had to do like a history of Protestantism, but I think it was pretty accurate. I don't know. I just found out that guys don't have fewer ribs than women, so I don't know how many accurate things I learned. I should probably look into it, but you know.
Pichu, no matter how many times you write one, it still only counts as 1 vote. Oh, and hey, Maya's here. Maya, I'm glad you're here.
Welcome.
Matanui.
You got vote for 4. I'm not sure what that's for.
Former Lutheran here, not really any revisionist history. Yeah, so I did sort of misspeak when I said Protestant. It's sort of a fundamentalist evangelical and Baptist thing that you get the pseudo-history stuff. It's not fair to say that that's a general Protestant thing. Like the Methodists, the Lutherans, the Anglicans, if you want to count them as Protestants, sometimes I object to that, but whatever. They like the mainline Protestant groups. Presbyterians can get a little bit iffy on church history, but not nearly as much as like evangelical fundamentalists and Baptists and stuff. So
European Protestants are for some reason considerably better than American Protestants, and I don't know why.
Baptists and Anabaptists do originate in Europe, so it's just that they fled Europe because no one had time for their crap.
Hey.
Yeah. So. And yes, I did say Matanui. I'll say most things that aren't, like curse words. So, okay, it looks like the general consensus is everyone either doesn't care or wants me to do a series about church history. So, I am currently working on a couple things right now, but when some of those start to wrap up, I will try to see what I can do about some church history stuff. And maybe we'll start with, like, the Apostolic Fathers and what we can glean from those writings, and then move into like the so-called ecumenical councils and the schisms that happen here and there from those. Then we'll get into like the 1066 Great Schism, and then we can alternate like focusing in between like the Christian West and East and what's going on there and all that stuff. I don't know. It could be interesting. But here we go. Let's get some more Erican.
Boys and girls, here's what it says. The universe burst into something from absolutely nothing. Zero. Nada. And as it got bigger, it became filled with even more stuff that came from absolutely nowhere. How is that possible? Well, just ask Alan Guth. His theory of inflation helps explain everything.
Well, I mean, the inflation, I'm going to call it a hypothesis, actually does offer some explanations. However, the eternal inflation model has problems with testability. Like, is there an inflaton field? I don't know, and there's no proposed mechanism for testing it. So it's interesting, sorry, but I would say that it has some of the same problems as sort of a religion in that there's just no even theoretically possible mechanism for testing it at this point. So until there's some option for falsifying it, it just remains in the realm of, like, some guy just made up a thing. So.
Yeah. You know, that's the interesting thing about all those 6 types of evolution that I mentioned earlier. All of them can be tested. Weird that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make predictions that we can then verify about the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Stellar formation. And, origin of matter.
Yeah.
Like general elements. We can make hypotheses, test those hypotheses, and make predictions about this.
Yeah.
Kind of ignored completely by creationists, but hey.
Okay.
Abiogenesis is testable as one of macroevolution. So it's like,
Yeah.
why?
They cut down a tree to print that.
I mean, to be
Where's
fair,
Al Gore when you need him, huh?
to be fair, it was a tree that was specifically grown to make paper, but whatever. That's one of the things people forget. Look, guys, you're not saving trees by not using paper. Trees are grown to make paper. They don't just go into the forest and harvest wild trees. That's not how paper gets made. Not anymore, at least. So, I just want to point that out.
Modern paper production is much more efficient and generally better for the environment than yield paper production. Although I do advocate for hemp paper over tree paper.
I mean,
yay hemp.
There are arguments there, but like the idea that you're going to save the forest by saving on paper is just complete nonsense.
Yeah,
That's why you should cut down on palm oil.
Yes, palm oil is murder on the environment because what's cut down to make palm oil stands is in fact jungles in like Southeast Asia and Polynesia.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awful for the environment.
Avoid palm oil like the plague.
Yeah, it is the worst for the environment.
I do my best.
So avoid palm oil like you avoid COVID.
Palm oil is
it's crazy though.
Palm oil
Like,
is it's like single-handedly causing the extinction of several species of orangutan.
Yeah.
And gibbon and giant squirrels actually.
Yeah, it's the orangutans and the gibbons and the giant squirrels.
Yeah, that's our shout out for Gutsick Gibbon. Gutsick Gibbon, we're preaching the word about saving the gibbons. If you're watching,
the Erikas.
Yeah,
it's just hard to avoid because it's like everywhere. I didn't realize how like prolific palm oil was until I started learning the names of palm oil and stuff, and it's just every bottle of anything has it.
Yeah, it's tough. But here we go.
I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. And that's what they're pushing as science. Now, here's my video. When you think of the Big Bang, most people think of the Big Bang as this, cosmic explosion. No
one should think about it that way. I'm going to take a drink.
Yeah, nobody that actually knows.
An expansion of space-time is not an expansion of matter and energy into pre-existing space-time. They are different.
That made all of the universe and everything that we see today. When I look at the Big Bang, I think of it a little bit differently. I mean, they say it all started off as a dot, right? And then the dot, it had all the matter and everything in the universe.
No, it only had energy. I'm taking a drink.
Energy.
I am tired of creationists saying a number of things, one of which is that there was matter in the singularity of the Big Bang. Now, first, a lot of scientists are not big on the singularity anymore, but even if we just skip past t equals 0, no matter at the earliest moment that we can realistically analyze for the Big Bang, not a single drop of matter anywhere.
First, the dot, which was really, really small, smaller than a period on a page, got spinning and then exploded.
No one says it spun. I'm taking another drink.
Another thing, creationists should stop saying, bones in the dirt. Please stop.
Yeah, it's rock, and they're not usually just straight up bones, so yeah.
It's usually minerals that have replaced the original bone, unless it's very recent, like Ice Age recent.
Yeah.
And you can still get information from them.
So, okay, there are some circumstances where even like Mesozoic fossils are actually mineral has infilled the holes in the bone, but the actual original calcium carbonate is still there.
It's very rare.
It is.
It's really cool.
But it does happen. So I can't say that fossils are always completely permineralized. That's not the case. It does happen that you can get original bone in fossils, even from relatively ancient rocks.
That's what I think the Big Bang looked like, okay? If it really was one. This dot, if it explodes, it's not going to create all the matter that we see today. I mean, that is really
Why not?
silly, if you ask me. But
You got to give a reason, Eric. You can't just say it's silly. This is a discussion about science, right? If you want to say something is absurd, you have to give reasons. You have to say what laws of physics it violates. You have to say what logical inconsistencies it has. You can't just say, that feels odd to me, so no.
Well, that's pretty silly, Dapper, so I'm going to just say no.
Okay, now fair enough. I mean, what?
But that's exactly what they're teaching in the textbooks. 18 to 20 billion years ago, all the matter was concentrated. By the way, in here they used the word...
So Tyler West says there's no density limit to energy. That's basically true, although you can actually just get pure energy and make a black hole out of it if you put it into a small enough area. So, for instance, the Kugelblitz is the name of a hypothetical black hole formed by just photons, initially at least. So, yeah. Oh, and then Megan Fox Giant Boob says, who wants boring calcium fossils when you can have fossils made of opal? I mean, that's true. There are opal fossils, and that is freaking awesome.
One of my life goals is to find a, like, say, an ammonite or a trilobite that has been replaced by something like opal.
Get to Australia, man. That's where most of the opalized fossils are.
Yeah, and also Australia has all of like the cool like Cambrian and Ediacaran rocks and stuff. So what if you found like a radiontid?
I mean,
like
hey,
an anomalocarid or something that's opal.
Don't
That's
forget
sick.
Canada, man. The east coast of Canada has some great like Cambrian and Precambrian fossils. So Australia does too, but let's not forget about Canada and also parts of England too, because like the Burgess Shale is from England. So
British
what?
in Canada.
I'm sorry, what was that?
England.
Pardon? No, Burgess Shale is
Oh, that was Canada. Was it? Oh
Canada.
yeah. Oh,
British
what is it?
Columbia.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Ediacaran. The first Ediacaran fossils were recognized in England. But anyway, what I'm saying is the first like multicellular like animals and whatnot were all found in British Commonwealth countries. So there you go.
Okay,
Maybe they were planted by the Brits.
Long live the Queen.
All
I'm gonna start singing like some patriotic British songs now. No, I'm not.
James Cook just went around planting the fossils.
There you go. That makes sense.
No, they were all planted there by the Celts way back when.
Oh,
But
in Canada and Australia,
Yes,
those
the
Celts,
literally just sailed there post-flood.
big explorers.
Them
All
all.
right, let's get a little bit more Eric. After the next pause on Eric, we're gonna take a quick intermission.
Universe. All the matter in the universe. I can't help but wonder, do they really know what they're talking about there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what the word universe means? It comes from the Latin language. Now, Latin's a dead language. It killed the Romans, and now it's slowly killing us. But anyway,
Oh,
it comes
and that
from the
was a
Latin
joke.
language, two
Take a
words,
drink.
uni and verse. Uni means single, and verse means spoken sentence.
Oh, you've covered this
Nope,
back for
I have. Yep, uni does mean single, but it comes from versum, or versum, if you want to go with the more correct Latin pronunciation, as opposed to the ecclesiastical pronunciation, which is another topic that I'm not going to get into too much here. But let's just say this. I think the ecclesiastical pronunciation sounds better, but it's less accurate as to what actual Latin was sounding like at the time that we sort of like ossified its grammar and vocabulary. But anyway, versum did not mean a spoken sentence. It meant something that was spun around or rotated. And the universe was called that because the idea was that the universe rotated around Earth because, the Romans were geocentrists, as were most people at the time.
Yeah.
So the universe, being essentially everything away from Earth, was a single, because it's all one thing, rotating thing, because it rotates around the Earth. This is not complicated, and it's not even controversial. You can just look it up. And I don't know why we're quoting the Humanist Manifesto, but either way, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick intermission.
1933.
So we're going to take a quick intermission, and then I will be back, as will my co-hosts. So yeah, please enjoy a quick commercial, and remember to hit like while you're watching the commercial if you haven't already. Alright, welcome back. We are back. Sorry I didn't let the whole intermission play through, but I figured you guys are here for Kent with Bent, not so much just for one quick little intermission video, which, by the way...
This isn't Kent with Bent. This is Eric.
Oh, it is Eric without Eric.
Eric without Erika.
Okay, sorry about that. I forgot what show I was on. But anyway, here's an amusing thing. Every once in a while, someone tries to do like a content ID on part of my my intro, even though all of that's public domain music. So I just... Whenever that happens, I just tell YouTube, yo, you can just edit that part out. It's fine. That's why I just don't worry about it, because it's like, who cares? Like, there's no content that you're missing. You're just missing the same intro or intermission video I do every time. But yeah, that's just a little inside baseball there, is that happens sometimes, and it's...
Side note, people that try to do these copyright strikes on public domain content, please go reflect on your life choices.
Well, to be fair, a copyright strike is not a copyright claim. And a copyright strike is not nearly as serious as a copyright claim. So,
yeah.
In fact, actually...
It's so pointless and so silly.
So at one point, what was it? YouTube said, oh, hey, we found a video using something that we think is your content. I'm like, okay, what is it? And I looked, and it was Top Hats Off, which is my off-topic channel. Which actually, now that in retrospect, I should have actually made the claim, because then I would have gotten ad revenue on that video. But I didn't, so whatever. I'm an idiot. If it happens again, though, I'm gonna keep the content claim, and I'm gonna go to Top Hats Off and be like, no, I'm not gonna dispute it. You can run ads on my video, and send it to the copyright owner, which is me.
Oh, lovely.
Thanks for monetizing my video that you shouldn't have, YouTube.
Thanks.
All right, here we go. Let's get some more Kent in. Or Eric, goodness, I'm so confused today.
Right? So when they refer to the universe, I wonder if they know what they're really talking about.
Even if you were right, it would be argumentum ad etymology, which is stupid.
Universe means single spoken sentence. And God said, and we now live in a universe. A single spoken sentence. I think that's kind of cool.
Except that the creation narrative involves more than one spoken sentence, Eric. So even from the perspective of you being right about the etymology, which you're not, and argument from etymology being valid, which it's not, you're still wrong. So I'm going to take a drink for that entire thing.
And I also know a bunch of Christians who they refer to like "let there be light" as the expansion, like the initial singularity, or the cosmic background radiation, or something like that. Like it's not that hard to just be like, yeah, okay.
It's legitimately one of the easiest things to accept. They don't.
Yep. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Anyway, and God said, let there be light. And let me tell you something, you did not want to be standing in front of the mouth of God when he said, let there be light, because light came spewing out of the mouth of God. And light was cruising, let me tell you. How many know how fast?
So wait, God has a physical mouth?
I don't think he does.
I mean,
He's a bit odd.
seems weird for someone who exists. Oh, there's Godzilla. Twice. All right.
Or one long one.
Oh, and another one.
I kind of hope if God does have physical form, that it's a chimpanzee.
No,
Yeah,
bonobo.
you're made in the image of God, all right.
No, bonobo. Bonobos are better.
Yes.
Bonobos kill each other a lot less.
Hey. Both kill each other a lot less than humans do.
That's not really true for chimpanzees. Chimpanzees go to war with some regularity.
Humans did too up until about 200 years ago.
Wait, here's the thing, right? The tendency for violence in chimpanzees and humans is not super different. The big difference is humans are better at technology, so they're more efficient at it. And also there's a whole lot more of them. So when you look at absolute numbers, it looks like humans are way more violent than chimpanzees, but that's really not true. Like, if you gave chimpanzees, like, machine guns and taught them how to use them, holy crap, would they devastate other chimpanzee troops. It would, yeah, like, it would be bad.
If the Billy Apes had a warhead, it'd be terrifying.
Right. And actually, there have been named chimpanzee wars. Like, you can look this up.
Hmm?
Like,
Yeah, so the Billy Apes are the most violent, like, tribe of chimpanzees.
Yeah.
That we know of. That I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they're also somewhat larger than most other chimpanzees, and until recently, they were essentially a cryptid, which is interesting.
And they have what's it called? The sagittal crest, which means they have like really strong jaw muscles. It's like an adaptive feature on on that specific line of chimps. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, sagittal crests in most other groups of chimpanzees are fairly uncommon, but they are known. But in that group, they're particularly common. So yeah, the Billy Apes are an interesting group. I don't want to go hang out with them. I'd much rather hang out with some bonobos if I had to choose a member of genus Pan to hang out with. But you know, they're still cool in a sort of let's keep them over there sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get a little bit more Eric in here.
Fast light travels. You guys know how fast light travels? How fast is it? Okay. Since nobody will speak up really loud, I'll speak up really loud. 186,000 miles light can travel in 1 second.
Whoa.
Wow.
That means it can go.
I really do need to get a Keanu Reeves whoa video that I can just click on and off.
Go around the world 7.5 times in 1 second.
And yet the lag on my internet is still often over a second for voice chat. Boo!
Yay.
That's fast. Yeah, you did not want to be standing in front of the mouth of God when he said, let there be light. Whoa, that had to be awesome. Now, if light is traveling 186,000 miles every single second, that's the same as 11.16 million miles in 1 minute. Light can.
I'm pretty sure that's roughly accurate, so for the first time, I'm just going to take a drink because I think he's right.
Yay, we're drinking for rightness. Finally, it's only been an hour.
I know, my goodness. And it's just like, what is the point of quoting these broadly accurate figures? I don't know, but let's see where he goes with it.
Travel 11 million miles in 1 minute.
Okay.
What about an hour? I mean, I've seen some of the way you guys drive around here. Try to catch up to light, man.
Such
What
a
is it?
forced laugh.
900 and I got the number written down. 969 million miles in an hour. Light
Sounds
can travel.
roughly-ish.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
In a year, in 1 year, light can travel
Take a drink.
5.88 trillion miles.
I'll just take a drink. I'm just going to assume he's
Like,
managed to do math
Those
correctly.
are big numbers, and they don't fit in my brain. Don't worry, they don't fit in Congress's brain either, obviously. But
Oh, that was a joke that no one laughed
million, billion, trillion. Yeah, if it's travel 186,000 miles a second, 11 million miles in a minute, so many million miles in an hour, and so many trillion miles in a year. What's that? Well, just to give you an idea of how different million, billion, and trillion are, can I give you a little analogy that kind of helps me, and I don't know, maybe it'll help you? If you were to think a million seconds ago, how long ago was a million seconds ago? Do the math, like this young gentleman just did, and you'll figure out that a million seconds ago is 12 days ago. You go back in time, 12 days, 1 million seconds ago. Okay? Now let's
guess
go
I'll take a
a
drink.
billion
Whatever, I don't care.
seconds ago. How long ago was a billion seconds ago? If a million seconds was 12 days, a billion seconds was, are you ready for this? 32 years ago.
Hooray!
Million, 12 days, billion, 32 years ago. Yeah.
Wait, so there's a big difference
And then if we were to
between
go
a million and a
to
billion?
trillion,
Nah.
how
Yeah, it turns out that a billion is several orders of magnitudes more than a million. What do you know?
Crazy how that works.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that just gave me Troll 2 flashbacks, which, you know what? We need to do a Seabad show on Troll 2. That's
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
so, in case you guys don't know, I occasionally, very occasionally, do a show with Bent Hovind, Cheshire Vic, myself, and Duke Ellington, which is Bent Hovind's brother, called the Seabad Show, where we do
Occasionally
commentary.
guests too.
Yeah, we also occasionally have guests. Eric Vierthaler, 1992, has been on there. T. Lane has been on there. I think my friend Josh has been on there. But anyway, we do commentary tracks for movies. And I think one of the next ones we should do is Troll 2.
I want to be there for that.
I mean, I can't guarantee that you will be there, because if the other guys are like, oh yeah, this is a good time, and you're like, I can't do it, I'm still going to have to go for it, T. Lane. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I've
That's fine.
probably seen the Cats live action movie more than anyone else alive.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
if y'all want to call in an expert,
But
Why?
I'll keep that in mind.
I
Why?
ended
I
up
need
seeing
to
it
know.
like 5 times the first month it came out.
Oh,
I didn't know why. Inform me.
It was just because like all of my friends wanted to go see it, and so I went to go see it with like 3 different groups of friends, and then also I saw it by myself once because it was I forget why. I don't know. I just remember I saw it a bunch of times.
that's weird.
That is weird.
That's really weird.
hilarious.
Anyway, have you seen Troll 2?
I have not. No.
Oh.
Well, wait. The Troll 2. Oh, yes, the bad movie Troll 2. Yes, not the like animated Pixar movie or whatever.
Oh, well, I mean Troll 2, like the one that was made by the Italian filmmaker who didn't speak English and who had a cast and crew who didn't speak Italian.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, here we go.
How many seconds ago was a trillion seconds ago? 31,760.
Hooray, let's take a
years
drink
ago.
from arithmetic.
Oh,
Big numbers are
right.
big.
Yeah, trillion is different than billion, and billion is different than million. And light
we
can
know.
travel 5.88 trillion miles in 1 year. And you know what astronomers map out the solar system with? You know what their
Not light
tape
years.
measure is? You know what the inch on their tape measure consists of? A light year.
No! You just said the solar system is measured in light years. I'm taking a big old drink for that one. Eric, I'm going to pretend that you're ever going to watch this. Eric, the basic unit of measurement in the solar system is the astronomical unit, which is the average distance between the center of Earth and the center of the sun, which is about 8 million miles. Or, no, sorry, it's about 9 million, I don't know, it's about 8 light minutes, whatever. Nothing in the solar system is a light year from anything else in the solar system. I'm sorry that you got your information on the scale of the solar system from the song The Final Countdown, but that's not how science works. I'm taking a second drink just because.
It would be crazy if it
took the video. I'm gonna eat it out the window.
took light a year to get from the sun to Pluto.
Goodness, it's like not even close to that. I'm pretty sure it's still less than an hour, even at Pluto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it.
That's not the inch for the solar system, Eric. It's the astronomical unit. Like, and I've never heard Kent say this, so this might be like a unique Eric thing, and it's bad.
An Eric special.
Oh man, yeah, seriously, this is an Eric special. The inch for the solar system is a light year. No, it's not. Gosh.
The one thing he doesn't copy his dad on.
I know, and he gets it so badly wrong. Okay, let's get some more in.
They map out our universe with light years.
Universe, yeah, but you just said solar system, Eric. Do you not know the difference? I'm taking another drink for equivocation on universe versus solar system. Oh my goodness. It's... Oh... And it's not like I'm an expert on astronomy either. I took an astronomy for like non-science major class, and like yeah, I got an A, and I was one of the few people who figured out that one of the homework questions was literally impossible. But like, I'm not exactly like astronomy guy, and I know the difference here. Which, by the way, it was really annoying because I worked for like 2 hours on that one homework problem, and I was like, nope, this is impossible, and I wrote that in my homework, and then my professor was like, oh, hey, congratulations for all you guys who figured out that I assigned you the impossible homework problem where, yeah, the units just don't work out and you can't actually answer the question based on the information. And I was like, are you kidding me? Come on. Because I wrote that down because I was just tired of doing it. And I was just like, I don't think this is possible, but I don't know. And I just want to go to bed. And turns out that was the right answer. It's like, you can't answer this question with the information given. So thanks, professor. And then he sort of teased me when I went down to see what my grades were, and he was like, come on, you're getting an A, just go away. I was like, okay, bye. Anyway.
Absolutely amazing how they do that. I mean, they're using 5.88 trillion miles as the little bitty, measuring stick to go throughout the universe. I don't know about you, but that makes me think that our universe is big.
Yeah.
It is huge. It is indescribable. Our sun is sending down light
just
to
described it
Earth.
with light years.
I know, right?
I mean,
it's literally, we can put numbers on it. It's not indescribable. Indescribable is something best reserved for like Lovecraftian horrors, not the actual physical universe. Oh man. So Random Evo Times asked what Discord server this is taking place on, and it is not taking place on a Discord server. This is actually taking place in a private Discord call. So yeah. There you go.
Right now, we just can't see it because we're on the...
Or just people I hit call.
Yeah, it's extremely exclusive.
Right, it's just you two.
Yeah.
Mostly so that random people don't just pop in and be like, hey, and then they say something horrible and it gets me demonetized.
Like, oh, hi, I'm in a live stream right now.
Yeah. That would be a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Wrong side. But as the light comes down, it takes light from the sun, which is 93 million miles away, 8 minutes to get here from the sun. By the time you feel it on your face, it left the sun 8 minutes.
Yeah, so the inch is light years, but apparently it's 8 light minutes. Like, pick a lane, dude.
To go. Huh. You know what? You're very glad that the sun is 93.
Donald Edwards asked how I joined. So there, assuming you mean the channel, there should be a join link both in the description of this video as well as a join button underneath the video. Either of them should open up a new tab or new window, hopefully, and not just replace this with join options. And that should sort you out. And joining the channel starts at $1.99, and it goes up, I think, to like $20-ish if you want like the highest tier or whatever. So yeah, and
you should join the channel if you can.
If you join the channel, please do send me a message on Discord or Twitter or something to ask for a join link for the patron/member Discord server, which is how you get access.
You'll get access to all of those emojis I just put in the chat.
Right, you'll get access to the emojis. You'll also get access to early access to most of my videos, usually about a week beforehand. Yeah, although I just realized I haven't given you guys early access to what's coming out on Thursday. At this point, it's probably a bit late, so I apologize for all of that, for all my members and patrons. I'm a gigantic jerk. My bad.
Yes. How could you?
Let's just throw tomatoes at him instead.
Yeah, throw tomatoes at me. Actually, you know what? I like tomatoes, and I just got some no sugar added ketchup, and I like it a lot more than the regular ketchup because I don't. Things get too sweet for me very fast. I do not have much of a sweet tooth, and I was I was using some regular ketchup last week, and I was just like, oh, this is too sweet. And I got that, and just perfect. I added some hot sauce to it today and some cumin. Oof, delicious.
So you admit that dinosaurs ate fruit? Then?
Yeah, I mean, at least
easy win for creationism.
I mean, late Cretaceous dinosaurs did.
Yeah.
3 million miles
Easy win
away.
for SFT.
You are very, very glad. Because if it was 83 million miles away, you wouldn't be having winters in Wisconsin. That's for sure. If it was 103 million miles away, going south for the winter would mean something totally different, because Florida and this whole earth would be a block of ice. Somehow the earth is 93 million miles away from the sun, and it just happens to stay in that perfect groove as it goes around the sun. Absolutely amazing.
What do you mean somehow? If it weren't, there just wouldn't be observers here, and you wouldn't know the difference, Eric. I'm taking a drink.
Yeah. That's one of the dumbest arguments to me. It's like, they're always like, oh, well, we're perfectly adapted for the universe. No, the universe, or wait, other way around. They say the universe is perfectly adapted for us, but we're perfectly adapted for the universe, you know?
And the thing is,
like,
okay, let's assume that you're in a universe that can support observers.
Mhm.
Are you surprised that you're in the part of that universe that supports observers itself, as part of the wider universe which can support areas that supports observers? No.
yeah, of course. Like, you're not going to have observers on Jupiter or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't happen. Like, you would never have life even start there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you look at the entire vastness of the universe, there's actually a fairly decent chance that some part of it can support observers. And should you be surprised as an observer to be in the part of the universe that can support observers? No, because where else would you possibly be? I'm just gonna keep going.
Also,
Another thing.
to make note, if Earth was slightly farther away, all you would need is more carbon dioxide to balance out the less energy from the sun.
Yeah.
You know, carbon dioxide affects the temperature of the planet.
Oh, I also want to point out, if you don't want to join the channel and instead you want to join the Patreon, which there's not a big difference. I think the only difference is that it's patrons get access to a few polls that I can't easily do with members. There is also a link to that. Which
you also get a nifty little rank in the patron Discord.
You can still get those if you're a member. If you're a member and you email me or send me a Twitter DM or whatever, and you have pledged at above just the regular old bottom member tier, I will put you in the appropriate role on the server. So the roles are consistent between memberships and patrons. So there is that.
The sun is 98% hydrogen and helium. Well, according to evolution, the Big Bang made everything, and the planets kind of came from the sun, and it was all one thing and separated. And well, when we look at the planets, less than 1% of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are hydrogen or helium. According to the Big Bang Theory, that shouldn't be the case.
Why? Well, okay, look, maybe he's going to explain it. I want to hear why that shouldn't be the case. Here we go.
Let's hear his explanation.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, all the 8 planets, if you haven't heard, Pluto got gypped, okay? Pluto is out of there. No longer a planet, all right.
Hey,
science always changing its mind.
That was his true statement, though, so I'm going to take a drink for it. Pluto is it's a dwarf planet, not a full-blown planet.
But all 8 of our planets are very different from one another. Yet, according to evolution, that should not be the case. According to the Big Bang Theory,
according to
everything should be
evolution?
very, very similar.
The Big Bang Theory has virtually nothing to do with the subsequent formation of the solar system. That's the nebular hypothesis. There's a big difference. I'm taking a drink for how stupid that is.
That is completely stupid.
According to the change in allele frequency over time, the planet should have similar composition.
Basically, yeah. That's the level we're operating on.
I'm sorry, I don't remember anything about nebular hypothesis saying all the planets in the solar system should be generally the same.
It's because it doesn't. It actually says that there should be a density gradient as a result of solar wind, which is exactly what we see.
I like that, Nate.
Crazy. What do you mean? Pichu says that they miss Pluto. It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's exactly the same as it always has been.
And when we look out into our solar system, when we look out into even bigger than our solar system, the Milky Way galaxy.
That's not the Milky Way, but okay.
We see some incredible things. Now, scientists today believe that the Milky Way galaxy is what they call a whirlpool galaxy, okay? It's got the arms on it.
No, they call it a barred spiral galaxy, Eric. Ugh, okay.
It's got a spiral galaxy. That's what they believe it is.
Oh, he said spiral.
Spiral galaxy.
Okay, he fixed himself.
That's what.
You know what, Eric? Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to say good job. You made a mistake, and you corrected it. I wish you would do that more, because that shows intellectual integrity, but I realize if you did that as much as you should, you would just have to stop being a creationist. But you know what? I'm also going to take a drink, because it is true that the Milky Way is reasonably well inferred to be a spiral galaxy, specifically a barred spiral, but that's a subset of spiral, so I'm going to take a drink, because that is true. Yeah.
We have to spit back the first one and take another sip.
For Eric correcting himself, he gets a single applause.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good job.
Yeah.
But look, it is fair to say that, look, creationists are loath to correct themselves, so anytime they do it at all, I'm impressed. So.
C, standing for truth.
Yeah.
Scientists tell us today about the Milky Way galaxy. Did you know that the Milky Way galaxy, if it were the size of the United States of America, the Milky Way galaxy, pretend it's the size of the United States of America, how big would our solar system be compared to the Milky Way galaxy?
Small.
Yeah, really, really, like the size of
our sun,
pea or so.
Like smaller than
planets would be the size of a quarter.
Okay.
Compared to the Milky Way galaxy being the size of the United States of America.
The universe is big.
That's a reasonably accurate estimate, so I'll take a drink, but I don't see what the point is. Okay.
I thought we already had this moment of discovery where Eric is figuring out that the universe is big.
Right. But the thing is, does he think that the Big Bang or something predicts a small universe? Because it doesn't. What? The thing is, if you want to dispute a scientific model, you have to show why your model predicts contradictory data and why your data better fits the actual data we have from the real world. But saying the universe is big doesn't contradict the Big Bang, because nothing about the Big Bang says it should be small.
Universe, therefore 6,000 years old.
Right. Big universe, therefore God. That's easy.
No. But look, you know what? I'll even grant big universe, therefore God. Let's just say yes, that works. It does not then follow young Earth creationism.
No. But if God is real, then young Earth creationism is real.
No.
The Bible.
No.
Our interpretation of the Bible.
There's so many other options.
And then there's God.
No, there are no other options.
Oh. Screw both.
You're not allowed.
No, we're hitting play.
Guys, it's a big place out there. And that's just our galaxy.
Stop showing a different galaxy. Just show a picture of the Milky Way from the night sky. That's not the Milky Way galaxy.
By the way, they say is 100,000 light years in diameter. Just our galaxy.
Okay.
100,000 light years in diameter. And we're not the only galaxy.
Yeah. That's true. Take a drink.
Galaxies out there.
That's two true things, actually. 3. I don't know. 2.
It has been
Let's go
said
2.
by scientists that if the Earth is the only inhabited planet in all of this space, then there's a lot of wasted space out there.
What do you mean wasted?
A lot of...
Why are you imposing some purpose on all this space? It could just simply exist for no particular reason, but whatever.
Useless real estate, if you will. Can't do anything with it.
Maybe.
I can't help but wonder, though, our solar system and our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, 100,000 light years in diameter, which consists, by the way, of 200 plus billion, with a B, billion stars.
Okay.
Just our galaxy.
Stop just giving
200
big numbers.
billion.
Doesn't mean
If you were to
anything.
count each one of the stars in the Milky Way galaxy at one star every second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time you got done, it would take you 3,170 years
Okay.
to count the stars in just the Milky Way galaxy. Wow.
I'm really hoping there's a point at the end of this because,
Yeah, I was about to say you never addressed his point.
like, at some point, I would like for you to say why you're saying these things. Because big numbers exist is not an argument for anything.
Yeah, and also he was like, some might say there's wasted space, but there's a lot of stars. It didn't follow.
Yeah, like, what? Whatever. Well, maybe he's going somewhere. I mean, I doubt it at this point because he's rambled for so long.
Oh yeah, also that there's just planets kind of just chilling them in space, just away from stars. But let's
And
ignore that
rogue
part.
planets are totally a thing. It's pretty cool. It was a episode of Voyager about a rogue planet. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
watch Star
let me
Trek
ask you
instead?
something. What is the purpose of the universe? I mean, if it's all for Earth, yeah, there is a lot of wasted space out there.
But you do think it's all for Earth, Eric? What is happening?
The universe's purpose in existence is to exist. It doesn't really care about anything.
But
it's just
being or anything.
it's really pretty, and supernovas are fireworks.
They're God's
Yeah,
fireworks?
of course.
Okay, fair enough.
But God needs his entertainment.
I mean, maybe.
Well, what else do you think was entertaining him before he made us?
Good point.
Yeah.
So what is the real purpose of our solar system and our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, which is in the universe, which is like way, way bigger than that? What is the purpose of it all?
Great question.
Well, I think the psalmist David figured it out. And I think he tells about it. Because the heavens, they're not all there for Earth. Oh no.
Okay.
They have a different purpose. By the way, scientists estimate, just to let you know, scientists estimate, and I know those of you who are good at English and not good at math, which is the way it usually seems to be, are hating all these numbers that I'm throwing out there. But get this. Scientists estimate that there are, in our universe, 70 sextillion
Oh my god.
stars.
Whoa!
What is that? A bunch.
Oh my god!
A whole bunch. It's been estimated there are enough stars in our universe that every single person on Earth
He
could
almost
own
answered the
11
question and then didn't.
trillion of them.
I
to
know.
themselves.
Like, great.
You can own 11
Do we have to
trillion of
add a
your own
drink
stars.
category for big number for no reason?
Have fun.
Yes.
Whoa. Think about that. By the way,
Ugh.
70 sextillion stars. That's the number 70 with 21 zeros behind it.
Hey, good job. Take
That's
a
how many
drink.
stars
You got a thing
scientists
right.
estimate are in our universe.
So what, Eric?
That's
Get to a
A lot of
point.
stars.
It's been like 12 minutes
According
since
to
you made a
evolution,
point.
The Big Bang started it all 20 billion years ago.
No, not really, but okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to have 70 sextillion stars form in 20 billion years, that's the same as 3.5 trillion stars forming every single year, or 6.5 million stars forming every single minute.
All right, first, we're going to read a super chat. So, for $5 US, Donald Edwards says, I cannot believe how wrong this guy is. By the way, here's a donation. Sincerely, Cheddar20, which now I know Cheddar20's real name for my fan-made Discord server, which, by the way, is also linked in the description. Come along there. We have some fun there, especially in the Speculative Evolution group or chat, which is one of the most active sub-chats in that Discord server.
It's fun.
And thank you very much.
We're just waiting for phase 3.
Phase 3 is coming. I'm gonna make a few more announcements towards the end of this about Phase 3 and the Speculative Evolution project and all that stuff. But I'm gonna take a drink for how stupid this is, and then I'm gonna explain why this is stupid. Okay. So this assumes that the rate of stellar formation is more or less constant through the history of the universe. But we know that's not true. Stars formed much more frequently in the past than they are now. And then that's the initial like pop zero stars. They all formed very rapidly. Then stellar formation sort of started ramping up and up and up a little bit after that initial dip. And then
Basically,
sometime
exponential growth, and
in the Mesozoic, it peaked. And then now we're at an area where stellar formation is starting to decline. So you cannot just give a linear rate to stellar formation. We know that's not true. So
and best of all, we have every stage of every stage of stars and how they from formation to death
Yep.
in the sky. So it's like
definitely.
Also, we've been over how big the universe is. The universe is big. There are lots of stars. What's your point?
Yeah, it's crazy. But also, I'm going to point out, I'm looking at about 6 of you who haven't hit like yet. I know who you are, because YouTube tells me. But yeah, they do. No, it's a lie. That's a lie. They don't tell me. Okay, here we go.
For 20 billion years to get the stars that we have in our universe today. We're supposed to be talking about evolution, evidence of creation. Do we really need to give any evidence of creation? I mean, look up. Get a telescope if you want to. Wait till it's nighttime, go outside, and look up. The Bible tells us very clearly the heavens are declaring the glory of God. We can't help but look up and see the heavens declaring God's glory.
So it is for Earth.
Dapper. Remember what I said earlier? Universe big, therefore God.
Right. But the thing is, he just said it wasn't for Earth.
Also,
But
that's extremely vain of God.
So there's two options here. One, God is just putting on a fireworks show for himself, which I don't know why he needs to do that. He knows who he is. He knows how awesome he is, presumably. Or it is for Earth, and it's to impress humans. But he's just said it wasn't for Earth. So I'm going to take a drink for being stupid enough to contradict yourself, Eric.
It's like
Remember what I said about God needing entertainment before he created humans? Yeah, he needed that. What he was going to do? Play CS Counter-Strike Source with Satan? He wasn't going to do that. He's a loser.
You know, God just put a bunch of stars up there to like pwn the dirty evolutionists whenever they start trying to count them.
Oh man. Yeah.
And the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is, the Bible says, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. There isn't a spot on earth where the heavens aren't saying, hey, check out God. There isn't a person on earth that can't look up and say, wow, God.
I mean, except for all those people who live in cities with lots of light pollution, but sure, why not?
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to see stars from here.
Yeah.
Also, not sure the people...
Because the heavens, they are declaring the glory of God. No, our universe is not all for the earth. Our galaxy is not for the earth. Our solar system is not just for the earth. It's all for God's glory.
But God already knows about it. The only point is for people on earth to look at it, according to you, Eric.
The glory of God is given by people on earth.
I'm taking a drink because it doesn't make any damn sense.
Look, Dapper, vanity is a sin, but when God does it, it's fine.
Apparently.
He made it to declare himself to all of us. And it's absolutely amazing what he did. The Hubble telescope is taking some absolutely amazing pictures, some unbelievable pictures. Hubble Space Telescope. I was online and I Googled it, Hubble Space Telescope images. Man, you can see some phenomenal pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope. I saw this picture and I couldn't help but think this is from, deep space. When I saw this, I couldn't help but think of that phrase that people would tell me as I was growing up. Hey, Eric, careful. God's watching you.
Looks
you might
like
not want to do that because
that.
God's watching. And I saw this image and I was like, wow.
What's that?
The interesting thing is because it's a 3D object that we can see from our perspective, it looks like an eye. But say if you like shift like I don't know a few light years to the right from our perspective, which space directions are meaningless without a object of reference, it would probably look different. So
Well, yeah.
You know, I guess it's not entirely for Earthlings because, you know, he could have been declaring his glory to the Mormons on other planets.
That's a good point.
God's actually just flexing on all the other gods because Mormonism.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. He really is watching. That's his eye right there. He's
God, I hope
looking at,
not.
hey, God.
Seriously.
God's watching you. Wow.
So, what about when the Earth is facing away from that? Is God not watching you anymore?
Can't see.
Yeah, your part of Earth is that's not in the sky, so God's not seeing you. So you can do whatever you want. God won't notice.
No, it's clearly a warp rift. It's that simple. It's actually one of Nietzsche's many eyes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Psalms chapter 8, the psalmist says, O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy
Excellent. See, I need so many more Keanu Reeves reactions.
Wow.
Ah.
Funny story, Mark.
glory above the heavens. He set his glory out there. He put it on display for you and I to see.
Okay.
He put his glory, his
Continue on.
magnificent works on display.
I know. Could you get to a point?
And boy, are they magnificent works. When I consider the heavens,
Stars are cool though.
the work of thy fingers, the moon and the
Yeah.
stars which thou hast ordained.
Get on with it.
You can't help but
Yeah,
wonder,
get on with it.
what is
Turn your tomatoes towards Eric.
that thou art mindful
Seriously.
of him?
I think I hear
What
God
is
said
man?
something. What's he saying?
Who am
Get on
I?
with it.
When you look up, a couple of things should happen. When you check out God's glory, a couple of things should happen. You should see God as really, really big, and you should see you as really, really small.
God isn't a physical entity, so so size is literally meaningless.
Size
So
doesn't
why
matter.
did God make it all? Well, I think he
Yes.
made it all for his glory.
His glory for us to appreciate here on Earth, which means it was for us on Earth, which means you saying it's wasted real estate doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to take a drink, especially because none of this is getting to any point.
Could be the Mormons on the moon.
Look, this has about as much point as safety scissors.
Oh, I hate those things.
Okay, so they don't have a point, and they're so dull you can't cut paper with them.
Yeah, they're
What
pointless.
is the point?
I guess they can cut yarn or something. I don't know.
No.
He made it to declare himself. This is the Whirlpool Galaxy, the one that I was trying to talk about earlier. The Whirlpool Galaxy M51.
Okay.
Took a picture of the Whirlpool Galaxy, and they wanted to find out what was at the center of the Whirlpool Galaxy.
Is it a black
What's at the
hole?
heart of it? What's right there
Probably
in the
black
middle
hole.
of the Whirlpool Galaxy? And when I show you what's at the center of the Whirlpool Galaxy, which scientists refer to as the X structure of the Whirlpool Galaxy, when I see what I'm about to show you, I can't help but think the heavens are declaring the glory of God. They zoomed the telescope into the very center of the Whirlpool Galaxy there, and this is what they saw.
It's laminin, Louis.
Oh my goodness! Angles, therefore
It's a
God.
road sign.
Take a drink.
Oh my
laminin,
god,
Louis.
it's extreme pareidolia, because if you look at it from the right angle, it looks like a cross.
Mm-hmm.
Except
What is that structure actually? Is it a supermassive black hole?
The X
Or-
structure, ladies and
I mean, so there's definitely a supermassive black hole at the center there. What is causing this particular shape, and also what the actual 3D structure is a little bit. It's hard to say, but like, it's a bit of a stretch to say that it's a representation of Calvary. But Pichu asked me, why is this episode called Apocalypse? Because I couldn't think of a good title. It's literally the reason. Yeah. Like, do not read too much into the title names for Eric with Erika or Kent with Bent. Basically, they're all just movie references.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. Like, that's the entire thing. And I'm not afraid of repeating movie references that I've already used on Kent with Bent in Eric with Erika, or in this case, Eric without Erika. So, yeah.
Well,
Gentlemen,
after Jesus left the Lamanites, he went to the supermassive black hole in this galaxy.
Place to chill.
I'm just gonna keep making Mormon jokes.
Hey, I don't mind.
And the Game Boy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool galaxy. Light years in height. Trillions of miles tall.
Okay.
God was saying, check me out.
Did he do that in the center of all the galaxies? Because then that would be something. Otherwise, this looks like a coincidence.
You know, one time I found Jesus' face on a potato chip.
I just watched the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where there was the Virgin Mary's water stain on the wall. Oh, man.
The heavens are telling about my glory. The heavens are telling about what I have done. You know, it's kind of a disturbing thought that what I'm about to introduce to you. Some of you, this is where you're going to want to tune out. Some of you, this is where you're going to want to say, well, I agreed with everything up to that point. But can I introduce a thought to you?
No.
Everything was done for God himself so that he would get the glory. It wasn't done for you and me.
But in order for him to get the glory, it has to be done for people to see. So it is still done for people. I'm taking a drink. This is incoherent nonsense.
Where is the point?
I don't get it. It's nonsense.
It was all done for God.
Wait, I know. Eric's preaching to the
Isaiah
crowd.
chapter 48.
Yeah.
God
To the
says,
choir.
I am the Lord. That is my name. I'll fill in the black parts, okay? That is my name. And my glory will I not give to another. If you got your Bible, you can turn to Isaiah chapter 46, verse number 8. He says, I'm not going to give my glory to another. I am God. That is my name. I am God. At the end of verse number 10, he says, I'm God. I declare from the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, God is a God that does everything for himself. You say, well, that sounds wrong. No, it would be wrong if you did everything for yourself, or if I did everything for myself. See, we would be what we call stuck on ourselves, and that's a bad thing, isn't it? I got news for you. To put it in our vernacular, guess what? God, the creator of the universe, is stuck on himself. He thinks a lot about himself.
I want to know why Eric is going to say that this is a good thing.
So basically, it's bad when we do it, but when God does it, it's perfectly fine because argument ad baculum, he's almighty and powerful. That's what I see here.
He's just raving for like 30 minutes about how like vain he is.
My good, yeah, this whole thing is like God is the most stuck up and vain person ever, and it's just been going on, and I'm just like, dude, why and how does this help you? I don't know.
God is vain and he likes big numbers
or something. Like
yeah,
that.
apparently. I mean, look, if this is your argument for God, you need to do better. There are better arguments for God.
Much better arguments, yeah.
My goodness.
He even tells us that he is a jealous God. And when it comes to getting the glory for his creation, you know what he says? You better not try to get any of the glory. It's all mine.
Oh,
I get the glory. I do all my pleasure. a very old and a
That
very
sounds
wise
pretty
man,
petulant, honestly.
wrote a book called Hot Tub Religion,
Yeah.
J.I. Packard, and he wrote this statement. If it is right for man to have the glory of God as his goal, can it be wrong for God to have the same goal?
I want to know what humans are out there trying to say that they created the universe. Please tell me. Because until you can find them, and actually, you know what? Even when you find them, I'm going to be like, well, that's stupid. And then, yeah, so this whole premise of this quote is nonsense.
If man can have no higher purpose than God's glory, how can God?
Are you trying to assign God?
If it is wrong for man,
All right, sorry, say that again.
Oh, it just sounds like he's trying to assign God's purpose, which sounds borderline like blasphemous in most sects I'm familiar
Yeah,
with.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't. Maybe.
Okay, you know what? You know, I'm perfectly fine. If you think the highest purpose in the universe is God's glory, then okay, that's fine. Thing is, though, if what you believe about God is true, God is far above humans, and as such, there are purposes he can have that humans don't. If God even needs a purpose at all, because purpose is not something everything needs.
Eric's God is like the kid who's just like playing around at an ant farm. He's like lighting them on fire and shit.
to seek a lesser end than this, it would be wrong for God too. The reason it cannot be right for man to live for himself as if he were God is because he is not.
I don't even
God.
know what that means.
However, it cannot be wrong for God to seek his own glory simply because he is God.
What?
Look what I said. And remember
God.
what I said?
There's a special exception for God, I guess.
Yeah, God is special because God is God. I feel like this is a massive fallacy called, I don't know, special pleading?
Yeah.
Wanting to get more glory than anything, made a universe. Oh my goodness, did he make a universe? And he made a galaxy called the Milky Way galaxy. Then he made a solar system, and then he made an earth. And he put mankind on earth. After painting an incredible picture of creation, an absolutely amazing thing, he did the unthinkable. And he created man in his very own image. And he did what he knew he had to do to get more glory than anything else. He gave man that he created the choice to live for his glory or for man to live for his own glory. Because he knew what just about every parent in here realizes, that there is no greater glory than to raise your kids, and then after they're grown and out of the house, they want to spend time with you.
So, given how much time you've been spending with Kent lately, there, Eric, I guess you're not giving much glory to your parents. Yeah.
There's another thing to say here. This is kind of like, okay, so you're Christian and you probably think hell is a thing. So if you don't go spread God's glory, he'll throw you in hell, despite the fact that he gave you free choice to do it. It's like, spread my glory, or I'll torture you. If I get what Eric's view of hell actually is correct, which probably. It's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, it's the whole, like, I forget which specific argument that is, but it's like, if an omnipotent God and, like, omnipresent God knows what's going to happen, then he knows exactly who's going to, like, turn away from Christ anyways. So he's basically just creating those people to torture them. So that's cool. I'm not going to, like, preach anything yet. Yeah.
Hashtag not my God.
All right. All right, here we go. We'll get a little bit more in, and then we're going to start to wrap it up.
Success. God said, I want more glory than all of this creation. And he created you, and he created me with the ability to give him more glory than all 70 sextillion stars.
How, though?
He
We're
created you and me
piecemeal
with the
compared
ability
the
to give
entire
him more
universe.
glory than all the trees
I
on
want the
planet
squirrel,
Earth,
Daddy.
than all the birds singing, than all the fish of the sea. He gave you and I the ability to give him more glory because you and
What are
I
the fish
have the
doing?
choice. We get to choose our glory or his glory. And of course, you guys know what happened. It didn't take very long for man to say, okay, thank you very much, God. I appreciate that choice. I choose my glory. I'm going to live for myself. I'm going to do what I want to do instead of what you want me to do. And man,
All right, so this is a whole bunch of preaching. So what I'm going to do is later, I'm going to go through a bit of this and see if we can get to something that isn't just preaching and is actually making claims about science, because I do not care about any of this.
I am so sick of this
Yeah.
preaching.
Yeah. So,
Preach me a river,
I'm gonna do some channel news stuff. Tuesday, I will be starting a. Oh, today's Tuesday, but there's Godzilla. Take a drink.
Oh, I'm a
I
red
meant
river,
Thursday.
right? Humans were created by evolution to sell more humans.
Thursday, I am going to start a new series based on a Genesis Apologetics video that is amazingly moronic. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Then Saturday should be my second game review video. Although I'm realizing that apparently no one cares about game review videos, so I'm probably not
I watched
gonna.
it.
Okay, but almost no one else did, so I'm probably just going to stop doing them, because apparently, despite really, really strong indications of people wanting me to, no one watches them. So
Weird.
I'm just not going to, because yeah, if no one's going to watch them, there's no point.
Also, watch them.
I
So
watched it. It was fun.
yeah, I thought it was fun, but apparently most of my audience didn't. So I'm just not going to keep doing it, because there's no point. But I'm still going to do it because I did promise the company that sent me the games that I would review them and upload them. But apparently, and it's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that you guys have to watch all the video. Like I get it. Not everything I do is going to be popular. It's fine. I'm just going to have to tailor what I do to what is popular. So, so that's Thursday and Saturday. Next Tuesday, a week from today, I'll be back with more Kent with Bent, and so on and so forth. In regards to the Speculative Evolution project, I have gone through all of my submissions for Phase 2. And I ended up having to reject a whole bunch of them at the end because, well, people didn't meet the minimum requirements. So, if you want to submit stuff for Phase 3, which is coming soon, please, once they're released, read the submission requirements, because if you don't meet them, I'm just going to delete your submission.
Also, make sure to use the template that Dapper
Right.
made and we
That's a part of it. I'm going to be releasing a submission template. It's going to be explained in the video introducing Phase 3. And just like in Phase 2, if you don't meet the minimum requirements, I'm just going to delete the submission, because I received 50 submissions for Phase 2 that were accepted. I probably received closer to 65 or so submissions total. It has been crazy there. And look, I get that you guys are voting 1 because you care about game reviews, but it has been my least well-performing video in 4 months.
There's less than half a dozen of us. Less than half a dozen!
So I cannot keep making videos that can't breach even just basic view levels for the channel. So unless you guys share them a lot or somehow more views appear on them, I just cannot keep doing game reviews. So sorry about
They're
that.
fun videos.
Those of you who do
They're
care.
fun videos, but you know what? It's understandable.
Yeah. Like, it's unfortunate, but if a series isn't going to get views, I can't keep doing it, because it takes a lot of time, and I need to take my time up with things that are going to be good for the channel overall. And those aren't it at this point, unless something radically turns around on those game reviews. So I get it. Those of you who like them really want them more, but I just cannot do it if it's not going to get, if more of my audience doesn't care. So unfortunately, right now it's looking like game reviews are going to be. I'm going to do the next one, and then that's going to be it, unless that turns around for one of them. So I get that some of the people here really like them, but sorry. Anyway, so yeah, phase 2 is just about done. I'm going to make 2 or 3 more organisms on my own, just to fill in a couple more niches that I like and want filled.
Yay.
And then there's going to be a phase 3 intro. That's going to be another thing. And yeah, so that's the basic news there. Please also do check out my off-topic channel, because my off-topic channel, we are doing, so T Lane here is part of this, as is Corporal Anon, Bent Hovind, as well as his brother Duke Ellington. We're doing a tabletop role-playing game in Star Trek. We're doing a Klingon ship, and we're about to do episode 3 on Saturday. And I'm doing sort of a 4-episode arc to get us into the main plot, but the 4-episode arc is sort of setting up all the elements that are going to be part of the main arc. The videos are about 2 to 2.5 hours each. They're
Super fun.
So yeah, if you want to see some tabletop role-playing gaming in the Star Trek universe, the game is set about a year after the end of Deep Space Nine. So yeah, there you go.
If for a little bit of notice, I made our group a likely reoccurring enemy in our last session. So go watch, find out more.
Yeah, so there's a nemesis for the group, so that's a lot of fun. Okay, so T Lane, do you have anything you want to plug?
Dan Stern Carnell, go watch his stuff. He just released a new thing, like I think a day or 2 ago.
Okay. What about you, Walking Fish?
I have a channel, and I'll probably post something on it eventually. I mostly want to shout out Speed's channel right now, because I'm in charge of that for the immediate future.
Yeah, Speed of Sound of Gravity has had some recent personal tragedy, and so he's not currently asking for anything in particular, but please go check out his channel. T Lane just linked it. I
just linked Creation Myths, which is Dan's channel.
Oh, that's Dan's channel. Please, please link Speed's channel. If you're watching this in the future and you have it full screened, bring it out of full screen. Check out the links that T Lane is posting and see what you can do. And I'm
hoping to do like an AIG meme review on Thursday on Speed's channel with Brainbug and Erika. So
that sounds
that'll
awesome.
Be fun.
Yeah.
So
in fact,
subscribe, check it out.
In fact, I'll probably end up seeing me and probably Gapper. Can we say?
It's certainly possible. It'll depend on exactly when my premiere is and when that is. So we'll coordinate in the background to try to make sure that those don't overlap. So yeah. Other than that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching, and I guess we're out of here. So thank you very much. I will see you on Thursday.
You will have a good night.
Yes.